this next video in this series. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay. So today we're talking about why your manifestations don't work. Why do your manifestations not work? And this is more about a topic that leads into things like generational trauma around wealth and why do you keep repeating those patterns in your head that ultimately get you those those things that where you feel like you can't run your business or really anything else in your life. So let's get started, shall we? Hello, and thank you guys so much again for tuning in. And again, if you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay below. Thank you guys so very much here. And let me know where you guys are tuning in from today. I always love seeing where everybody is tuning in from. I get like people from all over. Yesterday, I had somebody like from South Africa tuning in, which is so cool. Which is so cool. Okay, so here is what is blocking light workers, mystics, energy workers from real abundance. It isn't in your mind. So let's take that out of there, right? This whole thing, it isn't in your mind. It is an energy leak. And it's a wound. It's a real wound that gets passed down from generation to generation. So it's really not about your own story. It's not your money story. It's really somebody else's. And it could have been a great grandfather that was working on the fields all day and just said to himself, well, I have to keep working hard if I want to make all this money. And that was a belief that was always passed down. So I want to talk a little bit more about the root chakra. Okay? Root chakra blocks, Muladhara chakra, is all about your income. It's all about your wealth. It's all about stability. It's your foundational chakra. Your foundational chakra is about anything related to your, like I said, your finances, stability, your close personal relationships, business relationships. If you have a business, if you operate a business, if you work with something on somebody in a partnership, that's also considered a root chakra. That's a root chakra. That's also part of the root chakra as well. I see in people. I also see shelter. So for business owners, that means your actual home. For like a lot of the business owners I work with, they operate out of their home. Sometimes they all have a physical location. These days, post-pandemic, we have been seeing people just operate out of their homes. So a lot of it is physical homes. So if I don't see a money block in people, so if you guys don't already know, I do read chakras. I actually see chakras in people. I read chakras in people. I can physically see somebody's energy field, their auric field, and chakras in the body. I see many different chakras, and of course I see the main 7 in the body. And yes, I am well aware that there is more than 7. There's over 20 different outside. There's over 20 that go way outside the main centers, the main meridian centers in the body. And there's over 250 chakras in the body. Sometimes I do see those as well. I do see those when they get connected as well. So we're talking about the root chakra. We're talking about stability. We're talking about abundance. We're talking about things like energy, alchemizing energy within the root chakra, right? The main block that I see is a money story that has been passed down from generation to generation. Um, and a lot of these money stories that I found when I was doing like a lot of shadow work around money, and a lot of this was like months ago, where I really started working on my self-worth, and alchemizing my own self-worth. I started to work on my own money story and where that has come from. And a lot of those money stories came from generations past. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a story in my background here. My family, they came from India, and my father's side, he came from a very, you know, not well off area, a very, I would say a very poor area of India, and I believe it was a village in India. And my mom, she lived, I want to say she was more of a city girl. Um, somebody in my family might have to fact check me on that, but I do believe she was more of the city girl. My dad was more of the country person, that used to come into the city every now and then. And there was a lot of money stories there, that were passed down. And yeah, growing up, my dad basically grew up in poverty. My mom, not so much. I wouldn't consider my mother, she wasn't dirt poor as far as I remember. As far as I remember, she wasn't dirt poor, but they still struggled a lot. So again, lots of money stories, lots of, as from what I was told, not being able to eat at night, not being able to like, not knowing when to eat, all these things. So all these money stories that they had in their head were passed down in the womb, and then it actually led to me, like when I started making money in my business and in my career and in my business. A lot of those money stories, like they kind of started to pop up, like, and I just didn't know what to do. And a lot of those money stories kind of just came up even as recently as last year, where I just started to like figure out, I wanted to figure out, like, what do I do? Like everything around me is falling apart. What do I do? So a little bit of that panic set in, and and here's the thing, I didn't know. I didn't know that I needed to rewire my nervous system while I am going through all of these changes, right? And that was one of the reasons why my manifestations failed, was because my body didn't feel safe receiving money. I was receiving money. It wasn't like I was receiving money. I had money. I was receiving money, but I wasn't holding the space for it. And that was the key, okay? So with that being said, I had to go through I mean, I was doing a lot of the things like grounding and stuff. I didn't do this around money. Um, and Amanda Frances has a really good book called Rich as Fuck. Like, go and buy it now. I love that book, Rich. I love that book, Rich as Fuck. It's so good. And of course, you guys are offended by what I just said, by swear words, really. Please go somewhere else, because it's going to come out. I'm sorry. Um, but Amanda Frances has a really good book. She has really good exercises. I highly recommend watching her content, and I really recommend that book. If you, she also has a journal, I think, that goes with that book. I didn't get the journal, but I do have the book. I have her physical book and the audio book on it, and it's amazing, and I actually might have to go through a little bit of the exercises myself. Um, but it does make you, it's your first look into how do you look at money, right? So it's a very good root chakra type of book, as well. So what are the common limiting beliefs that I actually talk about, that that are actually blocks in your foundation? These are like really the common beliefs that I see in so many clients, and so many people that I read, that I literally I do have to share it with people. So number one, money is unsafe to receive. Money is unsafe to receive. And this is what I talk about with, people, right? This is what I have been talking about. This is a limiting belief that I have seen so many times. They don't feel safe around money. And the best way to fix this is to work with your nervous system. Shaking, physically shaking is a great way. Hugging yourself, physically shaking, putting your bare feet in the earth, placing your hand on your root chakra, even simply saying, I am safe to receive abundance, is a great way to receive. Another really good trick that I like to use is, putting some black tourmaline in your purse for energetic protection. I also like to keep my purse, as tidy as I can, and my cars as tidy as I can, and anything as tidy as you can. Like keeping things clean. That's also what I've learned too. Stagnant, if you keep things messy, that's where stagnant and negative energy thrives. Okay, and that's something I actually had to learn over the years because I was very messy growing up, and I was a very messy person, and I just didn't clean up, and I just, I kept things pretty messy. But as I learned over the years, keeping things tidy made me feel so much better. So keep things tidy, keep things clean. You can keep some, root chakra crystals, whatever crystal you want, black tourmaline for energetic protection. That also reprograms, and like shaking it out, and shaking out your body. And anytime you open your bank account, like if you see something getting taken out, like a bill or something, just add a plus sign to it and then a zero. So let's just say $144 was taken out of your account. I always imagine when I look in that account, I say, okay, that's actually 1,444 added into my account. And then I see it, and then I see my bank account, and I add a zero to it. And I'm like, oh, I actually have that. That's actually also rewiring your nervous system. And a lot of people will think, well, that's kind of delusional, isn't it? And I'm like, honey, what do you think rewiring your nervous system, your mindset is? Yeah, you are rooted in the, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you have $20 in your bank account, there's $20. Like, no one is getting, like, for that reality. You can't manifest your way out of it, into all of that. You really actually need to work towards it. And that is why I believe, like, just taking inspired action would work. And a lot of people seem to miss that about manifestation. Hold on, let me drink my tea here. What are you guys drinking? Ah, comment below. What are you guys drinking? Ah, right. Thank you. I don't know who said that, but thank you so much. I mean, yes, thank you. Um, and the thing is that it's not it's not like, you know, it's not like shaking, like I usually like to shake my butt. I literally go like this whenever I see whenever I see money getting taken out. I go like this, and I hold spit, and I literally do box breathing. And I'm going to show you a couple of tricks right now for when you feel like, money is like unsafe. Like if you see like if you see, okay, $144 was taken out of my account. Take a deep breath in and hold it for 4 seconds, and then release, right? And this is actually how I clear, by the way. I snap, and that's kind of something that I've channeled over the years. But yeah, like that's what I do. I just I rewire my nervous system. I like do work with the pelvis too, as well. A lot of, and this brings me to my second point, is that wealth makes me a target. And, you know, I don't think that, and yeah, well, wealth doesn't really make you a target. It's just more eyes get put on you as you build social media accounts, and or as I built social media accounts, and as I have seen other people's social media accounts grow, it does definitely put more eyes on you. And that's where spiritual protection around wealth actually comes in. I always like to imagine, like when I'm in meditation, I sit down like this, and then imagine a protective shield, a white shield, a white, purple, white light shield around me, and around me and my bank account, right? I also think knowledge is power, and knowing your numbers is power too. I have made it a habit of looking at my bank account every day and seeing where I'm at, and seeing, okay, this is where I'm at. Now I know that I need to make this much. This is where I need to balance, instead of just guessing. I think that's also a big thing. Something that one of my friends, Lisa Marie, I did a podcast episode with her. I always shout her out. It's actually the very last podcast episode I did, and I am going to relaunch that podcast soon as well, with new episodes as well. But that was the last, and that was like months ago. I did that podcast with her months ago, as well. So yes, 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 yes. I did that, and um, please check it out. Please check out that podcast episode. Dancing, in fact, twerking actually, twerking out, because twerking, it's going to be really hilarious when I say that, right? Twerking helps. I'm like, this isn't just a funny thing, like going, and I tell people this like all the time, right? Dancing like you're in a club in 2005 to 2012, 13. When did Miley Cyrus do her twerking shit? I don't know. I don't know. But whatever, 2005 to 2014, whatever. That 2004 to 2014, those 10 years, like imagine that you're in a club dancing in the 2010s, early 2010s. Like that's how I want you to dance. Like, cause here's the thing, and put some hip hop music and like literally twerk it out, like seriously, like, cause that actually works your root chakra. People like literally that is so, I've heard people say they had the most healing experiences when they had that. And I'm like, yeah, because you're shaking out your root chakra. You are literally shaking out your root chakra, right? Movement and visualization releases that fear, and that fear that you've embedded in you, that financial fear, that ancestral fear, right? The third most common beliefs the most common belief that I hear from clients is my gifts, and I have done this too. My gifts should be freely given. This is something that totally ancestral. Actually, my parents went through this. My mom, in particular, she gave away her services for free, and she thought that everybody should have that. And listen, I don't rag on anybody that does free discovery calls, that does free sessions, that does energy. Listen, I do energy exchanges with some of my close girlfriends, right? Um, I I don't mind. I don't mind doing those. The thing is that sometimes, like, we do need to be paid for our gifts, though. If I don't know you and you want a session from me, yes, that is going to come at a cost. And yes, that is going to, I am going to work with you. And if you want coaching from me, if you want to like really transform your life and you really want to do all of these things, yeah, that comes at a cost. It's $5,555 to work with me for 3 months. And listen, I'm gonna freely say that on here. Why am I freely saying that? Because I know I can. I am rooted right here in my self-worth and saying that. Right? I want you to calculate the real cost of one energy session. And mine is, so I have a 90-minute. So if you guys want to get a taste of what it's like to work with me energetically in a coaching session, you can get my 90-minute soul aligned chakra session for 90 minutes where I clear you and then I help you mindset shift your mindsets that I actually see. Because guys, I see so much in people. I not only do I see the chakra blocks, but I see the blocks that are holding them all back. I see everything. And then I'm like, oh my God, if you just switch this, things will go well for you. And then I do help them switch it. And they manifest thousands of dollars after that. And then they have this huge transformation. One of my very first clients, it wasn't even a business. She didn't even own a business or anything. Like, she was just somebody that called me. And she was somebody that called me. Like, she actually wrote this huge testimonial on my Google page. Actually, she wrote this huge testimonial, and for me, and she was like, so I just remember what she was. She was just so in her head. She was so in her head. She didn't know what to do. She was stuck in this relationship, stuck in this marriage that wasn't good for her. And next thing I know, throughout our sessions, I did encourage her to leave. And next thing I know, she like left. She like moved to a different state altogether. And she's like thriving right now. Moved her kids, everything with her. And like, that was actually the first time I was like, I could do this. Wait a minute, this is what happens. And this was like, you guys, this was years ago. And that's when I was like, oh my God, this is what happened. And like, she did this, and I did do some work with her, and I was like, and she totally 180 changed her life. And now she's like she became a coach herself. Like, she was like an engineer, you guys. Like, her life like completely changed. Like, she was like some sort of like computer engineer, or so, I can't remember now. I think she was looking for a job with Google. And I know that she's looking to become one. And I was like, this is what, and she credits me. She credits me for starting this whole journey. So yeah, like this is what happens. And yes, so I did all of that for her pro bono, because here's the thing, I didn't know that this is what this was going to be. And of course, I learned to start calculating the real cost, adding 20, like having an energy sustainability fee. You guys, like some of you guys may know me from like the live sessions that I do. Not the live sessions, the live shows that I do where I do clearings and everything. Um, and I love doing those, by the way, but I also had to add an energy exchange, to it. So because when you start doing energy exchanges, like whether it's charging a real fee or like doing an equal service fee, which is what I do in person. Here there's a group, a small group of us, of friends that I have here, where we do energy exchanges, and everything, where we basically clear each other, which is awesome. um, but as long as it's like fair, right? And I think because people like us are not mainstream and we're not taken seriously, and I'm not saying that nobody takes it, like, because we obviously get taken seriously by the right people, right? As long as that we're in the right rooms, we do get taken seriously. um but in the mainstream, it's like, ooh, you're charging. And I'm like, well, ooh, you're a doctor and you charge too. You work with energy too, in a different way, and you charge too. So, charging, like adding 20% to your current rates, will easily transform charity consciousness into energy exchange, right? And that ceiling, that financial ceiling, is an energetic limitation. It's not a personal fail. It's not a personal failing. It's energetic blocks. And if you fear any of this, if any of this resonates with you, by the way, anything what I'm talking about resonates with you, if you feel guilty charging, if you fear success, sense an invisible block around money, I'm going to show you how to identify generational trauma in your root chakra, release ancestral financial patterns using somatic work and alchemy, and reprogram your energy to attract wealth naturally. This isn't about money mindset, it's energy alchemy. Okay? I'm going to give you a robust process to transmute scarcity mindset into magnetic abundance and stop carrying your ancient ancestors' burden around you. All right, and becoming a clear channel for wealth. So if you want, I am doing a free masterclass around it, where I just talked about clearing, like identifying all these generational money trauma wounds, and basically how to work with them, and clear them. So the link is in the description box, in the captions description box, if you want to learn more about it. I am actually going to put this this in the comment right here. I'm actually going to put this in the comments right here. Let's see if I can grab this link right now. Come on. Work with me. There we go. Let's put this link in the comments right now. There we go. So here you guys go. That is the link to register for my Zoom masterclass. It's completely free. Just register. And it's going to be on November 29th at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And no, there isn't going to be a replay, although I'm going to be there isn't going to be a free replay. I am going to be selling the replay as well. So if you want the replay, you can get it, as well as the workbook that goes with it. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next round of this. I am going to be doing more of these lives where I am going to be talking about abundance. The next one, I believe, is going to be more about your ego, divine masculine, divine feminine, and your confidence as well. Sales and money and things. Sales basically. Confidence around sales, confidence around speaking your truth with the solar plexus and throat as well. So it's going to go a little bit more into the upper chakras, but I do want the focus more to be on the lower. So I'm going to be working with the sacral and solar plexus the next time that we talk. You see me. All right, guys, thank you so much. Take very good care of yourselves. You have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody. Take care.